For our final few weeks in Mexico, we headed back to the beach to get a taste of the Mexican Caribbean. After almost 5 months touring Mexico and an action-packed time in Oaxaca, we were very excited to unwind, get some sun, and see off our time in Mexico in style.
We started off with a couple of nights in Cancun after flying into the Cancun airport from Oaxaca. We headed straight for the beach to experience the iconic white sand and turquoise waters the Caribbean is famous for.
Now, the main reason we stayed in Cancun was to make a trip out to Isla Mujeres. We had a smooth journey across on the Ultramar ferry, explored the island for a couple of hours before finally settling on a beach club we like the look of.
Isla Mujeres was definitely worth the trip across, and our only regret was not spending more time on the island. There is more than enough to keep you occupied for a night or two.
Next up was Playa del Carmen. One thing to note is that the Riviera Maya has been experiencing a real issue with Sargassum seaweed over the past few years, so we're sure to make the most of our time at the beaches in Cancun and Isla Mujeres where it was less prevalent at the time.
Our number one tip for anyone visiting this area is to check the Sargassum forecast to avoid disappointment when you arrive, and pick the season you visit carefully. We've linked a great resource for this in the description below.
Despite the seaweed, Playa del Carmen was lots of fun, with plenty to see and do. We stayed just outside of Centro for a couple of weeks and tried to take in as much as we could. As you can see, there is always something happening in the main plaza and endless shops, bars and restaurants to explore.
We took another ferry out to the island of Cozumel for a day of snorkeling, sailing, and enjoying the sun and sea. There are plenty of options for tours to Cozumel from Playa del Carmen. We'll leave a link to the one we took in the description below. We stopped off at 3 different spots, including the famous El Cielo.
We capped off our time with a week in Tulum. The first thing on our list was to check out some of the cenotes the Riviera Maya is famous for. We found a bike tour which visited 3 different cenotes from a town nearby Tulum called Cielo.
This was a really cool experience and is a must-do activity when in Tulum. We definitely prefer this kind of thing over the fancy beach clubs.
We have to say that Tulum in general wasn't our favourite, especially the hotel zone. We'll cover that in a bit more detail in our next video.
For now, let's just say that Tulum has become a victim of its own success with very high prices and a crowd that seems more interested in being seen than experiencing everything Mexico has on offer. Not really our vibe. We'll leave you to enjoy the footage and decide for yourself.
Now, unless you're looking for the luxury resort bubble experience, which we definitely do appreciate from time to time, a number one recommendation is to stay in Tulum Centro and rent a scooter to get around and out to the beach. And make sure you check out the tried and true Batty's Bar.
As mentioned, this is sadly our last Mexico vlog. In our next video, we'll wrap up our entire experience in this beautiful country, so be sure to subscribe if you want to hear our thoughts, tips, and recommendations on Mexico. Our next country is the vibrant Colombia, and plans are in the works for Europe and Asia, so stay tuned as there's plenty more to come.